Welcome to this channel, Dimensions of Love. I hope you're all doing well. How are you feeling today, dear soul? Make sure to always honor yourself by simply asking, how am I feeling today? And whatever that wants to arise from that question, let it be. For an example, it can rise up as thoughts, emotions, physical symptoms in the body. So it doesn't have to be only a response. Sometimes when we ask ourselves, how do I feel? There's tendency for a voice that we seem to believe it's us, because this voice has been with us since young age. So we start to believe that this voice that we hear in our head is actually us, which it isn't. It isn't who you are. So when we ask ourselves, how do I feel? In this moment, in that moment that you will ask that question, you will feel the mind wanting to fill in that blank. Because this is how we, as a society, has been conditioned. Always to have the answer. Always to try to fill in the blanks in order to avoid discomfort. We've started to be afraid of discomfort. Because the mind has started to label things as good, bad, and therefore an emotion, a physical symptom built in with that. In the long run, all of this harms us in some way or another. Because the mind will not necessarily always tell the truth. So you can't trust the mind or believe that it will bring you right information. It will only try to fill in the blanks by the possibilities available in that moment, which is quite limiting. So therefore, step out of your own way, step into yourself. Everything outside of you can be taken away, everything. But what is inside of you? What cannot be taken away? Can you sit with that? Because when you do so, when you find that strength, that which cannot be taken away from you, you become the power that you are. As long as your validation stands in outside of how others view you, of what you possess in things, objects, people, titles, roles that we play within our family, within our jobs, with ourselves. Just for a second. Stay with yourself in here. Because only here will you find the connection to the source of the truth of who you are. It cannot be taken away. It was never lost because it was always there. And because you're watching this channel, and I say this because not everyone will see this channel. This channel will not be shown to everyone. For the simplest reason that my energy is not connecting in that way. This is not my purpose. My purpose is not to just connect bluntly in order to get a lot of likes, followers. It doesn't matter. That is not the point. The point here is for you to trust. Because if you are here, you probably don't trust anything or anyone. And that is rightfully true. But it necessarily doesn't have to mean that you cut yourself off from everything. Because this trusting is because you've been holding your heart so beautiful and purely open. And on this earth, in this school, however you want to see it, you have been here many times. You have experienced many things here over and over again. And you will continue to experience things here over and over again until you learn your lessons. So the meaning of this channel is not to make you understand this. You can like it, or you can put an unlike on this video. It doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that this channel, my purpose is to reach people that are in the middle bridge, so to speak. When you get enlightened, you don't have to, let's not use the word, this word so loosely. When we say enlightened, it just means like all of a sudden you have a title. More of it, when you have that deeper understanding, when that aha moment reaches you and everything opens to you, you can never go back to unseen it. And for you to even reach that level of awareness, of consciousness, is that you've been here many lives. And so there are people divided in this polarity of old earth and new earth. And if you're watching this channel, either you understand it and you're completely enlightened and you just want to find your own way, or you're right in the middle of making that decision. We can view this in so many different ways. We can view this as you being in 3D and now you're in the playing field of 4D, which is magic, where both white and dark magics are involved in order for you to show yourself where do you belong. And so many get stuck in this half 4D of just doing black magic, and eventually they fall completely down to unconscious If not in this lifetime, in their next when they start over. Now the other are those who are enlightened and have an understanding. They're here to teach, to just give all of these teaching because it might be their last time that they're here. And then there are those that are teachers but also enjoy being student. Those are the ones in the middle, in the bridge, because we've experienced the temptation of wanting to revenge, wanting to harm someone that has harmed you, but we didn't act upon it. You see, there is where the differentiation begins of who is what and where do they go. And this is a choice. Remember, this is the hardest school and the difficultest choice where we can reach far and then fall down completely. So therefore, it's an everyday choice. If you are here, you're making this choice every day and you're being tested. How much do you want this? You will have temptations in your path. You will have yourself putting restrictions on yourself so you will not reach that goal. Because a part of yourself, as you call the ego, which in the higher octaves doesn't even exist, but if we speak of it as in the ego is the limited mind. The mind rests in the body. So all body, mind, ego, all of these are together accumulation of everything that your ancestor has gone through, everything that has shaped you and everything that you've seen, that you perceived. And all of that together creates how you view everything right now, how you see it, how you feel it, how you perceive it. So here in the middle bridge, I wouldn't want to wake anyone up that's unconscious because they can't see it, they can't understand it, they can't perceive it. They have made the choice. You cannot force anyone. So therefore, and if you are an empath, this is what you want. When you realize something and you just want to share it with the world, this is a natural instinct from an empath. It hurts you to see other not understand it. And you want to help them to understand. But here's where we want you to stop. They can't understand because they don't perceive it in that way. They can't. They haven't learned their lessons. You have to learn your lessons level after level after level. Every time you have to learn your lessons, make a test of them. You get the test, you learn your lessons. This is how Earth works. It's different, it's difficult, but this is how we grow. This is a beautiful, beautiful place to even experience, to have this 3D body, to have this suit, to experience all of this. But yet when you start to wake up to that understanding and you start to make choices, it is so difficult to get all those challenges thrown at you and not to react. To protect your energy and know when to assert yourself in a battle and when to step back. It's so difficult because when you're in the middle zone, you feel like you're going through battles constantly. So all that you feel is completely valid. But remember, the bigger the battle, the greater the outcome. It is the journey. It is here you are being put into a test of what you will decide to do. What is most important to you? Will you be sold out for money, for fame? If you had a choice and see that power, how would you choose it? To help and benefit others, or to use them or abuse them because they're less unconscious? You make that choice. See? but you will never reach the higher octaves because there are certain rules in the law of the universe that won't allow you to penetrate. So sometimes we get worried. If, if all of these people can see it like this and they're using black magic, then they can harm me. In and to an extent, yes, but from another octave, everything that they do has a cause and effect. So at the end, they suffer more. At the end, even if someone wants to harm you every day, will not be able to do so because at a certain point of time, all of that will just come back to them and even stronger because it's a boomerang effect. So it means when you're standing in the middle and you're throwing good actions, you're helping someone and you're not expecting anything back. Nothing. Not a favor, not nothing. You're just giving away with love. You throw that boomerang away, and when that boomerang is going, it starts to accumulate everything that it is. So it's positive. So it starts to pick up everything that's positive on the way back. And the moment when it hits you, you've done one good act that you didn't even want anything back from it, and here comes back 10 times more. You weren't even expecting it. See, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. But the same way goes when you throw that boomerang and you throw it in a mean way to someone, it will go out in a negative sense and it will accumulate everything negative that it will pick up and it will come back and hit you right back. And usually those that act in that category are not even, they can't even perceive that they're doing that because they're in the vibration of envy, hatred. It's not fair. You know, there's so many entities, there's so many parasites deeply, deeply disturbing these human beings that are disturbing their mental health in them to act in such a way. So feel sorry for them and have compassion because truly no human being that has come to a realization will ever harm another human being unless he has to defend himself because something has gone crazy. That is how you do when you're a light warrior. When you're a true light warrior, you will never act upon another human being unless you have to defend yourself. Someone is stepping over your territory and you have to. Otherwise, you do everything with love. So I know it can be difficult being right there in the middle and going through all of that hardship and not knowing. We're not meant to know. I don't know where I'm going at the end of all of this. As you don't know, we're not meant to know, but we're meant to teach each other something. We're meant to give each other something. Everyone has a lesson. Every encounter is a teacher. If someone is so disconnected from themselves and they meet an empath, as you are, trust that that will also teach them something. It will teach them to go, this is so strange. I've done so many horrible things to this human being and they haven't returned anything back. You see, that alone clicks and reminds them of something that is pure inside of them, deep down. Under all of these layers and cover-ups and masks that they put upon themselves. So we always are in service to one another. Everything is one. But in the middle, you make your choices. So you are going through that test. And there are helpers that I enjoy being here in the middle because I've seen the darkness as I've seen the light. And I enjoy staying in balance with them. And it's difficult. I feel like it's the most difficult. It's more easier to just be enlightened, to sit and just receive and just give out. People understanding the beauty of the oneness and that love is all there is. That is beautiful. But to do the hard work is to know that that's the direction that you're going, but yet to stand in the middle ground and help your brothers and sisters to understand the same thing, as in my brothers and sisters that are light workers to understand that it's okay to have all of these both sides of you. There's nothing to suppress. There are even entities in the middle zone that are helping to bridge over. So when you're in the higher octaves in the middle, you can even see that entities become helpers because they also want to advance. While you can have encounters with entity that doesn't want to help, that are still in lower octaves and have no understanding of the whole. It is this duality play out. And the same thing can be played out as into human beings. So everything goes the same when you look at it as a whole piece. It's a big art piece. And if you love art, you know that some parts you just don't understand. And even the ugly parts you appreciate and love. So you love the whole picture. When you understand that you're a light worker, you don't want to get rid of anything that's bad. You don't want to force anyone to understand what is good. You just want to stand in love and offer this space for everyone to just know that this is a resting place. This is a place where you can just feel safe and know that your energy will not be misused, you will not be mistreated. And that is the greatest gift we can give each other as empaths. Because it can be so difficult out there. Who can you trust? Who understands it? Who is using it? You won't know that. But one day you will find you will find exactly that soul family that you need. And don't rush to these things. See, we constantly want to rush and we want to do. We forget that right now, even if you're feeling absolutely alone and nobody understands you, there is a spirit team. Love is supporting you. You're never alone. That is an illusion. You're always surrounded by spirits, by beautiful souls, with love that supports you, because we're one. So when we're on the same vibration, we can't be separated. We're together. And with today's technology, as we can connect like this, it goes even faster. So we can use all of these tools, all of them use, but not get lost in them. See? So this is the most difficult time of being in the middle of having so many tools at your disposal, but not being lost in them. By knowing how to pick, to decipher for yourself what is good, what works, what doesn't work for me. So you have to do this individually for you, because nobody can match your past life, your ancestors, the same way as DNAs and diseases and all of those in the physical body can arise. But don't go against yourself, because that is when those physical symptoms starts to fester in your body as an actual disease, is when we go against ourselves. We're not listening to what's coming down to us. We're not taking in what is coming down. We're taking in everything else from the world, but we're not connecting to the most highest to take in that, to go straight to the source and cleanse yourself. Instead, we are just wanting to fix, and we stand open and we take in everything that we don't want, and it wears us down. It really wears an impact down. So just for a second, try to release it and try to connect with the source. And keep that thought, because you can control your thoughts. You can decide what kind of thoughts you want to enter your mind. So use thoughts like, I'm connected to the source. Just very simple. Just wherever you are right now, just 3 breaths in and out. You take a deep breath in your diaphragm, you breathe out, and you simply say aloud or in your mind, I'm connected to the source. And just that will shift. Because everything shifts when you start to move that energy. When you have different thoughts, different patterns, different behavior patterns, your whole self starts to change. But it starts from within. And don't go externally. You will have those temptations, but know that you are supported. And this channel of love, I hope that this message reaches your heart into your understanding how valuable you are, just the way that you are. Nothing needs to change or get rid of. Only thing that needs to happen is you realizing who you truly are. When you do so, everything else will fall into place. So let it have its time, but keep working on it every day. Do something every day to bring you closer to who you are. Ask yourself, who am I? Do whatever you feel called to do that feels comfortable for you. And we hope that these messages of love helps you. And we're so grateful to be connected with you. Truly, the words doesn't matter here. It is the energy behind it. And our energy, our devotion to this is thank you, truly. Thank you. It is just as much an honor for me as it is for you to be connecting in this way and to just spread this energy and bring smiles to faces, because that's what it's all about. We're all meant to be happy and see the beauty in it all, no matter how messy it might look. If you learn to master yourself, nothing else, no matter how messy it is, can actually affect you. So be the power that you are, beautiful soul. Have a wonderful day. Send the love your way. Bye, everyone. Namaste.